Deeper, falling, falling, and I'm going, and I really won't. I'm going, in every way. Yeah, baby, we back for that late night class. Oh, yeah. In our new tone, baby. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling you, man. Hey, Anu had nothing but women around him, bro. He had nothing but women around him. He don't really like dudes like that. He had nothing but women. And he was whining and dining all of them at the same time. First time I seen him, it was amazing, man. Right? So, like on our last tape, we just did the Barry White joint, right? Because Anu gave us that first clue. We waiting on the second clue now. I gotta go through 7 clues to get to the picture. So Barry White was the first clue. Hey, we on a mission here. We left off where we showed what Inanna was up to. Now, before we go farther, we want to discuss, I might end up changing the name of this. It depends on how long I had to talk about Inanna. We're going to talk a little bit about more on Inanna, because I got to give you a background on Inanna in order to, before we go forward on what she was doing. Okay, I'm trying to find, I'm gonna love you, love. Hold on just a second. We're gonna see. We're gonna put that up with Inanna. We'll let Inanna be up there, because we might change the name to this. Change the name of this when we talk about Inanna, because we got to go in a little bit more on her, so we can make all the connections, man. So let me get this. I got the thumbnail up there. Let me get this switched to the laptop, and then we'll get going, man. I'm gonna love you, love you, love you. I'm gonna need you every way. I'm gonna. Hey, ever since when Anu told me that, and I started listening to Barry, all those songs that Barry White wrote today, I've been listening to Barry White all day. And I hear the love letters that he wrote, and I say, oh yeah, this dude was getting them, bro. He like, I see why all them women was around him like they were. Hey, this dude was getting them, bro, with them songs he was writing. They really were letters. He was writing letters, and the letter actually sung, like the letters was more advanced than just like a regular letter. It's like it was song just like when you open the letter, it played just like Barry White's, like the song. It played a song, like the letter. It played like a song, and it sounded just like the Barry White song, but it was Anu singing it. And I was like, dang, so Anu wrote all those Barry White songs. Right? So hey man, we about to keep on cracking heads and twisted caps. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, man. We might get into the creation of the humans, but we're mostly talking about our family and what we was doing and why we gotta come back here and teach the humans now. What the truth. We gotta teach them the truth in order for us to be we'll go back to we're gonna go back to Inanna, because this is important. All right, keep in mind Inanna. She's gonna play a big part, because now that we absorbed her perspective, and one of the cats came on the chat and said that hey man, Young Gilda, what is your sources? So we on the last tape we showed a couple of the books. that we've been going through. Like I say, we got maybe close to 500-600 books. Like I said, I got my own. I've been building my library for quite some time now. When anybody say, "Hey man, go out and get this book," or "Go out and get that book," so I always go out and get the book and put it in my library, right? So all the elders, raw, everybody that's telling me, "Hey, go get this book, go get that book," so I go get the book, right? And me, I'm a speed reader. I'm like out loud, I get nervous and I can't read that good. But just reading reading by myself, especially when I got images already in my head of the people, the stuff that I'm reading, I got an idea in my head of the imagining what the writer's saying. It comes out real good, man. Yeah, Inanna, Ishtar. Her name is Inanna, which means the beloved of Anu, which really is a title that was bestowed on her. Ashtar, she got that name later, dealing with Alelu now. When they came to Ishtar house of pleasure, temple of love. She had several, Ishtar had, okay, let me give you a little background on Ishtar. All right, Ishtar is Enlil's granddaughter. Nanar is Enlil's son, right, by Sud, who was the daughter of Halai. So Nanar is Enlil's son and Halai's grandson. Keep that in your mind. All right, Ningil is Inky's daughter. They birthed twins, Utu and Ishtar. All right. At the time when the Anunnaki came and they was being born on a planet, the Anunnaki children, they didn't allow them to start the first couple of years of their life on the planet. When they were born, after their mother got through nursing them, once they were old enough to start handling themselves, they shipped them off to Nuru. They shipped Utu, and then Urtu's actually born on Nuru, but he was like 2 classes ahead of Inanna. And then the oldest grandson is Murdoch. Murdoch is about, just to give you a put it to where you can understand, just say that Murdoch was probably like in the 10th or 11th grade, while Inanna, Utu, who else was in the school with them? Utu, Inanna, several other people, because Mother Ninti was teaching the class. But they were about around the same age, and then Urtu was probably 1 or 2 grades ahead of Inanna now. So they went to school together on Nubaru. Murdoch is the oldest. Murdoch is the first grandson of Anu by Inky, and Demkina, who is the daughter of Alelu, Anu's brother. Right? So they went to school on Nubaru for several years. So they knew they lived in the Pt.8. Some of us, when Riz got hit and started to cause diseases, we split, and some of us went to Pt.8 star system. Some of us went to the Orion star system. Some of us went to the Arcturians. Some of us went to the Centaurians, different star systems, right? Some of us came here, eventually to work the mines, those who became known as the heroes, right? So on Nubaru, that one of the highest art forms is making love. Making love is one of the highest art forms on Nubaru. On Earth, they look at it, y'all look at it different down here than we do on Nubaru. On Nubaru, it's like just like the animals, like Mother Nature, just like the animals do procreate. That's how we procreate with each other on Nubaru. It ain't no shame in our game, pretty much to say. So we look at things different. So for when I tell you about Inanna and what she was doing, and you say, "Oh, that's she's a hooker," or this and that, we don't look at things. We're not emotional like you humans. We're not as emotional. My wife she mad at me because she said, "You ain't emotional, like you ain't affectionate, like you ain't human, you more like your emotions is real, like so our emotions is different from humans, right? We don't look at things the same way you look at things on the emotional level, like sexuality, and all these are different and like race, all that. We don't look at that. That's all emotional stuff. Humans are real emotional, especially the females, women. So when I tell you what Ishtar was doing, and you say, "Oh, that sounds like you trying to make the mother goddess Ishtar look like a bad person," nah, that ain't what I'm doing. Because we don't look at this, we don't look at things the same way you do. The death or none of that, time, none of that. We look at everything different from way humans do. Not everybody that's listening now is human. Some of y'all are the children of the Anunnaki, which is why we made a deal to come here and teach people, so we can get our mojo back, because we lost our mojo by thinking that we can do whatever we want in the universe, and it wasn't gonna never come back to us, and it did come back to us, and we got blocked and shut out from evolution to the next level, right? And so the council came together, and they decided that in order for y'all to fix this, because we're trying to figure out how to fix it, that y'all got to go back and make the humans y'all equals. You got to teach them everything you know. If you read the last tablet in the Zachariah Stitching book, the last time Anu come, he tell Inky them and Enlil them, he said, teach the humans everything you know and then leave. That's what he told them. So the mission is to teach the humans what we know and then leave, right? And we leave in 2043 is when the vortex reopen, and we'll be going out of your solar system or your galaxy to back to our home worlds and the Pleiades and the other star systems. And yeah, so when I tell you about things Ishtar was doing, Ishtar was the cream of the crop as far as women and being taking power and taking charge and being creative and being heard. She's the first one to start fighting for women rights amongst the Anunnakis, even though on Nubaru or in our culture, women get equal rights to men, but on Earth, when Inky and Enlil and them was setting things up, the women wouldn't get equal rights to the throne unless they married one of the guys that was in charge. So Ishtar Inanna was one of the first women to stand up and start fighting for power for women to be in control. For women to have their own rights to power and knowledge, the same knowledge as the men, right? So she might have took a lot of routes to do that. Some you might say that sound like it's evil, or it sounds like it's it's a devil, or it sounds like it's bad. It's cherubim, it's cherubim actions or cherubim moves, saying that, but it's not. That's not the case, because we look at things different from you on an emotion. Most people, when they judging things down here, is mostly from an emotional point of view. Say, because I'm offended by that particular thing. To me, it's bad, and it makes me feel funny. So but we don't look at things like that, right? So when you go back to the last tape that I put out, part 7, you'll see that I told you some of the things that our Nana was doing. Like, she invented the pump too, the pumps, the tights. Our Nana was the first lady in Anarchy started to wear tights. And actually, she was taught by her grandmother, right? Enlil's mother. Actually taught her the art of making love and the art of draining a man's. I can't go too exclusive. I'm going to keep it clean. You two, we're going to keep this one clean. But she was a master love maker. She could turn any man, get them all. She could get them. You know what I'm saying? She can make any man subdue him. And with her magic, she was a scientist, and she knew different. She had pretty much a lot of knowledge because she got the meat tablets from Inky. I told you about the story of when when Inky she had Istar had set up like a brothel, the first brothel. She was the first madam. She was the first. She had her own brothel for the Anunnakis to come, and she had girls that she trained in the art of love making because she had learned, went to the school. She graduated with a doctor's degree in love making off of Nubaru. That was her major in love making, and she came back to she came to Earth and taught the humans. And Enlil didn't really approve of her teaching the humans the love making, the art of love making, because he didn't want the humans to be able to procreate on their own. He thought it would get out of hand, especially let alone the Anunnakis procreate with them, right? The Anunnakis procreate with them. But Ishtar set up several temples where she had these schools set up. And Ishtar actually had about 200 some children after it all cleared. And a lot of those children, at least 2/3 of them, was with human man, right? And she had a lot of daughters. Her first daughters became known as the 12 daughters of Isis. And she trained them, and they went out and set up their own schools to train the art of love making to the Amalus. And this started the East, what you call in the Eastern Stars. It go all the way back to when Inanna set up the school of love making. It goes all the way back to the beginning. And these daughters went out to set up these schools, and they set up secret orders and women it was all school for women. And they had men in some of the schools. They had men too. They trained men, because Nergal went to one of the schools, the one that was in India that she had set up. So men would come there and learn too, but it was mostly women. And the ones that graduated became part of the daughters of Isis. They became known as a secret priesthood, a secret priesthood of Isis. Well, these women, they were professionals, meaning they could do all the magic to you as far as love making go, right? Yeah, the Eastern Stars go back to a brothel, man. Then you got a madam over the stars. And they all became stars. You got a madam over the stars. She become the head of the lodge, or the the temple. But that all goes all the way back to Ishtar when she came up to set up the schools of love making and the art of love, right? So So she installed women wearing tight clothes, especially when we're gonna get, like I said, I might change this name of this class to the Inanna, the sins, or Inanna return, because I think I'm gonna be able to go a whole hour on breaking down Inanna for you. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to change this. Then I do part 9 and be the creation of the humans. I do part 9 as the creation of the humans. It's a lot of stuff we got to cover before we go into the creation of the humans that Inanna was setting up. This right here, before the humans, she was setting up this. She was training these Anunnaki girls on the art of love making. And her whole thing was, women if women want something, they gotta take what they want in the world that they was living in, with Inky, Enlil, Nanar, everybody fighting, having this who's got the biggest package contest, while women was just threw to the side and just y'all don't count. It's all about the man and testosterone, and I got the biggest bombs, type of thing. So her whole thing is, we can control these men. These men really are under our control. But we got to be smart enough. We got to be intelligent enough to know that and know how to utilize the gift that we got as being women. We got to know how to utilize the gift, and that gift is the Stargate. We got the Stargate. I got to say it like that. We got the Stargate, and we can dangle it on the screen. We can get men to do whatever we want just to get it, especially if you dress it up nice and have it all plumped up nice for them. Because Ishtar used to wear full bodysuits, tight bodysuits. That's just you gotta. She is so tight, you gotta help her zip the back up. Them women that be footing, she's so fine and thick, you gotta help her zip the back of that joint up, just to fit all that romp up in that joint. 1-800 Ishtar had 1-800 junk in your trunk. Like I remember when I was younger, I used to have a line where I used to have a card made that said 1-800 junk in your trunk. And I used to walk up to women that had nice behinds, and I used to hand that card to them and say, you need to call 1-800 junk in your trunk, because we remove junk for free. We remove junk for free because you got a whole lot of junk in your trunk, you know. So that's the type of personality Ishtar had. If you want something, you got to take what you want in life. If you're a woman in when these men are controlling everything. So her whole thing was I could seduce her. Seduction was her number in the art of lovemaking. Seduction is one of the arts that's within the school of lovemaking. So she was a master seductionist. And not to mention, to add her hormones, the love potion number 9 that she had, right, that she got from Mother Ninty, right? She got a pheromone, like she could spray on her that make men go crazy. Not to mention that she was already fine as all our does, right? The love potion number 9 gave it to her by Mother Ninty. Now, yeah, I might have to do a whole tape on Mother Ninty too, because she got a long storyline too of what she went through, especially with Inky and Enlil. But and she had different potions she can mix up to put in man drinks. Like she was using ginseng and other okay, all right. She was using ginseng and other herbs to enhance the experience of making love. She had different herbs that she was using and cultivating in her cities that stimulates different hormones in the body to make the love making. And she actually goes into detail on how to do it in her book. But now I can't get into too much detail because I gotta keep it clean. But the looking part, the looking dead in the eye while you're making love, looking at each other's eyes, feeling each other's soul, right? And this how this how they do it on Nubaru. They look in each other's eyes while they're making love. They embrace each other. They souls connect on a higher dimensional level by looking in each other's eyes the whole time, just staring each other in the eyes. Maybe I'll do a tape on the Patreon going into more detail, because I'm definitely gonna do one on the Truskians. So Ishtar whole thing was Inanna whole thing was I got power, and my power is my fineness, my body. I can use my body to stun these men and to take everything they got and take my power. So that's what she was doing, right? She's going around doing that and it's doing people. She got a guy Inky first. Inky, because he was there. It was a whole bunch of men, an Anunnaki man. Okay, let me go back too. I already told you the part about she went to school. They went all Anunnaki children, full-blooded Anunnaki children, go to school on Nauru for the first couple of shawls, like the first couple shawls. They go to school on Nauru, and then they get their job title. Now Ishtar actually got sent to the planet to do that school, because she ended up convincing her grandmother, Antun, Anu's wife, that the planet need that love, and she Anu agreed, and they sent her, and that's where she came and started setting up the love making temples. And they were having the old word. What's the old word? I can't say what it is. The old word, where a whole bunch of people come and they take, they get naked, and she was having those type of parties at her spots, in her love making temples. And you might look at it as a bad thing, but to the Anunnakis, they do it all the time on Nubaru. They have them all the time, these big parties where they, we kind of say that they do the old word. They do the old word. Yeah, we got to say it like that. Right? They do the old word. Right? But it wasn't looked at as bad to us. But down here, it's a bad thing, because of Enlil influence. All right. So but one day I told you about the story. She ended up getting they had these Inky and Enlil both possessed these tablets. Well, not these tablets, it's a machine called the Respiration of Knowledge machine. Let me show you what it looked like. They show it to you on Stargate. Right? Hold on, let me see, can I get it pulled up to show you what it looked like? But it works sort of like a virtual reality video game with the connection of like in the Matrix where Neo said that I need to learn how to hot wire a helicopter or this and that, and they just downloaded into his brain. Well, this machine, it downloads knowledge into your brain. Okay, here you go, right here. It's right here. It says right here, okay, restoration of knowledge. This is the machine right here that Inky had possession of. All right, let me show you. Okay, it looked kind of like this. They show you on the Stargate movie. Right here where he got his head stuck in that thing. They went to this room right here with a circle in the middle. They had to figure out something. And he's standing next to that thing, and then this thing came over his head like this. All right, I'm gonna blow it up for you so I can show it to you. This is it right here. This called the me machine, or the me's. They call them the me's. Is what the Anunnakis call this machine, the me machine. Hold on, let me blow it up for you so you can see what it looked like. And then I'm gonna explain how it worked. But Ishtar ended up stealing it. Well, she ain't steal it. Actually, Inky gave it to her. She talked Inky out of it. Hold up, I'm gonna show you. It's in this folder here. Hey, Robot, if you're in the building, we're about to crack heads and twist caps. No doubt, no doubt. We about to this one of Ishtar books right here. This book right here. That told me to go get on how she was doing it, the love making thing. Right? So I'm gonna get that book. Okay. Hold up, we got to get to what we're gonna show you is the machine. And we're gonna break down how it worked and what Ishtar got a hold of and how she used this to gain power. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna love you, love you, love you. And I really want, baby. I'm gonna need you, need you, need you. Okay, where is it? Where's the machine? I want to blow it up for you so you can see it. I might have to save it again in this same folder because I don't see it. Okay, let me save it again. This is it right here. Hey, Robot, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We about to crack heads and twist caps. We up late with this game, man. We up late in this game. We up late in this game. Deeper and deeper, yeah, yeah. All right, so Inky and Enlil, all of the Yahwehs have this machine in a possession. Now it works sort of like a virtual reality video game where it locks on your head and it downloads knowledge into your brain. They call it the me, right? Now it works. It got 12 crystals that go. It got 12 crystals that go with this. And what you do is when you want to, it got all 12 crystals got. I'm talking about unlimited knowledge on all the crystals. Got different like stuff on science of the galaxy, star maps, knowledge of how to create avatars. I mean, you name it. It's on these each crystal have a different information stored on it. And so what you want to do is you just take one of the crystals and slide it in this machine, close it and lock it back. And then this thing will come over your head and it'll download all the information out that crystal into your brain. Right? So one day, Inky, now I'll get back to the story of how Isis got in possession of the knowledge respiration, or they call it the me crystals, right? So one day, Inky, the word got back after so many men was getting their soul took, at the temple of the temple of Isis by all of these priestess. They were getting their soul took. I gotta say it like that, right? And they half of them weren't making it out, man. They legs wobbling when they came out. They left with all their possessions and all the money that they was making, because these people were getting paid to work in the mines. These Anunnakis they were getting paid to work in the mines, and they were promised land, some whole planets by Anu, whole homesteads for their whole family and generations to come by Anu, because they were called heroes, these Anunnakis. So a lot of them, the rights that they had signed to come down here to do the mining, they were signing over to ISIS priests, because they got they soul took when they went up. They were selling their soul when they went up in there, right? Just to get what these women, how these women was dressed, smelling good, fine. I'm talking about they wanted them back. They wanted them back. So they were getting took for everything they got. So the word got out, and word got back to Inky. And Inky's son, word, I would have told partially this story on the last thing. But word got out. Yeah, they left there broke, barely with their shoestrings even tied tight when they left our nano spot, Ishtar. Right. And so Inky called for his told Ismut to summon his great niece, Inanna. And Inanna, when she heard that Inky summoned her, she went and put on her finest, tightest dress she could find, finest sundress. She knew the Inky like women in sundresses. And keep in mind, Inky is a smooth operator, just like Anu. He got his voice ain't as deep as Anu, but he's smooth just like him. Like the way he deal with women, like everybody love him. All the women love him because the way he talked to women, he talked just like I told you a new talk on the Barry White tape. He talked to women in a way to where you ain't gonna not want to do what he tell you to do, or you ain't gonna not want to be around them and just hear him speak. It's so warm, and so I'm telling you, he just like that right now. He just like that right now. People that listening that be around him, they know that he talk smooth to all the women. He's so nice. That's how Inky is, and that's how Anu is. Anu Inky is just like Anu when it come down to women. How he talk to him, right? So what happens is he summoned. So now I know that she's going. So she put on her tightest dress, her baddest heels, all her jewelry. She had she had all kind of jewelry, like the stuff that Queen Elizabeth got. Like shit that's better than Queen Elizabeth's jewelry, with different stones and jewels. And they also had certain advanced technology they didn't just wear jewels for no reason. The jewels that they rocked, it had advanced technology concerned with it, like shields, like electromagnetic shields to block them from radiation that when they was here, to keep them from aging as fast, and for the aging won't sit in like the humans when they come to Earth. And also some of them has breathing devices, the advanced technology where it can for out of they chain fold a mask. A mask could come out and unfold like in like different dimensions to cover their head if they was gonna go out of space in a ship to the moon or to Mars. So she got bad. She got put her finest, got the love potion number 9, put that joint on, right? She looking fine, got a red dress on, the red pumps. Then she even brought her pet at the time. She had two pet lions that had sharp, razor sharp teeth, and they had scorpion tails because they were custom made just for Inanna. She had them custom made pets. And they ended up getting bigger. Eventually, they got bigger over time, where she can actually ride on their back, ride on the male back, while the female was like her bodyguard. If you try to mess with Inanna, they'll rip you apart. They'll eat you alive if you try to mess with Inanna. These two pets that she had, these lions. But when they was babies, that's when she took one of the babies to with her to visit Inky, and they show a picture of her. Let me show you. They show her like a thing of her with the lion, with the baby lion. On here, let me show you. Inanna had over probably like about 5 or 6,000 different types of pumps and different colors of high heel shoes. So some of you women out there, y'all be having a lot of high heel shoes. You could be connected with Inanna, because that's how she was. She had a whole walk-in closet full of nothing but pumps and different dresses from different fabrics thrown all over. Some that was from Pt.8. Some of the fabrics was from Pt.8 galaxy that ain't even on Earth. Some of the fabrics that she had. All right, here you go right here. Here go her right here. Like a let's see, can I blow it up? Okay. Now you see in this picture, you see Inanna with her sundress on. See how thick she is with her legs. You can see her, she was thick and fine and slim, and she had a small waistline, and she had a nice sized breast, and she had a nice smooth skin, and her lips looked real soft. And she wore pumps. You can see she got the pumps on right here, and this is one of her pet tigers. I mean, her pet lions that she had with the scorpion tail, with the sharp, razor sharp teeth, right? And she wore like sometimes she wore her hair in updos. She liked to wear her hair in updos, right? Her and her sister, Agrissigal, like to wear their hair in updos. So you think you wearing the updo, you was doing something new. Ishtar was already doing the updos. She was already doing the cornrows. She was already doing the finger wave. Ishtar used to rock a finger wave. She used to rock a finger wave, right? You remember them finger waves? Let me show you what it looked like. Cause a lot of you, that Betty Boo finger wave, Ishtar, she used to rock the eyelashes, makeup, the long eyelashes that y'all rock right now. Inanna rocking them first. Inanna was rocking the long eyelashes and wigs, all it. Well, really, the wigs was rocked by Ariska, because Inanna actually, I'm gonna talk about that part too. So I might have changed this story to the story of Inanna, this Inanna part, because the Inanna part is real long. But let me show you with the finger wave. Y'all might, my old school 90s bougie chicks might remember the finger wave, right? You used to get that finger wave back in the 80s, right? That finger wave right here. This is where Inanna used to rock her hair sometimes, just like this. She used to have the finger waves in it, and she was real pretty, just like this, right? And she had two avatars. The green avatar was the second avatar after she got shot by Ariska, and they had to switch her avatar. Mother Ninti and Inky them had to switch her avatar to that green avatar, which was some custom made avatars that they had built on Nubaru for a race that we're gonna talk about them too. The Adam Project. Another part of the Adam Project, they started adopting Homo sapiens, and they started adopting the Asiatic black mans, and then they put them on Nubaru in the laboratory and started making clones or avatars that they can give to the some beings to come down here to work in. So they went and exhaust their real avatar, they Nubian avatar, they Nubaru avatar. So they created like a race they called the Watusis, to be these avatars, these tall Watusis, right? And they had, when first they had green avatars. And let me get to that. I'm gonna get to the story why ISIS had to have another avatar. They all had more than one avatar though. Like some of them, like Murdoch, had different avatars. Because he even had to use the Watusi avatars that they were making. The Watusi was avatars for the Anunnakis. Some of them, and they also used it for the spirit that Anu created. Anu did it was in the art room, and he created a new spirit 1,000 years before the humans were created. He created a new spirit, and he took a part of his spirit and made this spirit, and he wanted that spirit to go into an avatar, and that's why they made the avatars with the Watusi avatars. We'll go into more in depth on that later, but we're talking about Ishtar right now. So Ishtar used to rock the finger wave before y'all, and the updos. Let me show you what my sisters out there know what the updos is. Updo style. The updos, right? All right, she used to have her hair. They showing me Let me get some sisters up there, man. Black sister. Because Ishtar had the woolly joint. All right, so yeah, she used to rock her hair like these different styles. She used to have a different style like every other day because she had the priestess used to do her hair every day, braided or twisted or do all these different styles. You see right here, Ishtar was already rocking them. And she's rocking a make. They used to do her makeup every day. She had makeup artists and she had the long eyelashes. She was rocking the long eyelashes. The ones y'all wear, the Betty Boo joints, right? Like you doing something new. So the long eyelashes, Ishtar was already rocking them too, right? And the red pumps. That was her favorite, the red pumps. They even got one part in this book I got called The Return of Inanna by V.S. Ferguson, where she got a whole chapter just on red pumps or red shoes. Got a whole chapter just on red pumps in there. The Inanna, because that's how much she loved her red pumps, right? So when she got invited to, she actually cocked her leg up, showing the, and then she didn't wear no under stuff. We got to say it like that, man. We got to keep it clean. She didn't wear no underwear, right? And when she got there, at one point she flashed her stuff clean cut with the heart drawn on it. She had her stuff shaped like a heart on there. Well, we got to keep it clean. We can't say too much. She shades like a heart, and because she had, and her hair was long too. You see how long her hair was? It go all the way down her back, and she could do an updo and have some of her hair going down, like braided down, right? That's how long her hair was, because she lived a long time. 1 year to them is 3,600 years. So she'd be 1 year, she'd be 20 years old and be 10 years old and be over 30,000 years old, right? They lived long time, even when they was on Earth, because they were drinking the elixir and eating the mandrakes, and drinking them Brazilian berry juice, right? And they were Ishtar said that they would go. They kept going back every certain amount of days. They'd go back through the vortex and spend a couple of days in the Pleiades, or in the area they had set up in the center of Earth in a cave that the reptilians or these snake people had, where they can cross through this time vortex and go into their area where they can shed the radiation off of them so they can stop aging, and then they'd come back and pop up. Right, we're gonna get to the point where they start worshiping these beings. The humans worship these beings. They looked at them like gods because they had advanced technology. And they were pretty much, they created the Lulu Emelus to be primitive workers. But you see her, she got like a leash on this thing, right? But she goes into at first she goes to Inky, right? So she all fine, smelling good, got a dress with got a breast out a little bit where they showing like how juicy they look, right? And she coming in there, like she run the place. Every time Nana came in a place, it's like, I'm the queen. I'm the Nana. She throwing her hair back, right? Every time she came in a place, it was like, I'm the greatest. I'm my Nana. I'm the queen of heaven and earth, right? There's none before me. I am the almighty Inanna. Right? Although she wasn't as cocky. She just knew that I'm fine. I'm the finest. They ain't gonna find nothing this fine. I'm the finest thing Anunnaki that ever lived. That's how it was with her mind. She the finest Anunnaki ever lived, right? And but so she got summoned to Inky. Go to Inky. She coming there looking fine. So Inky got like a dinner set up for kind of like dinner and all that. And they in there drinking, and now he drinking in the Inky, and she started telling Inky, it's mud, pour him up another drink, pour him up. It's mud is the two-headed dude that's his advisor, pour him up another drink. And then when Inky got so drunk, she even slipped some in his drink to make him more like attracted to her, he was already attracted to her, but to make it even to increase his his testosterone of I gotta have her. I gotta have her no matter what. I gotta have her. Right. So hey, look. So she just kept on getting him drunk to where he was even slurring with his I give you the world, my daughter. I give you the world. I give you diamonds and pearls. I'll give you the keys. He turning everything over to her, drunk in the mud, right? And then Inanna said, would you give me the me tablets? Inky was drunk. He thought about it. He paused. And then she wiggled her like turned around and showed on that butt. And, lifted her skirt up on him. Boy, when he seen that, he said, yeah, I give you the beans. And he also, when he thought about it, Inanna said that in his mind, he also thought that if I give these tablets to her, or these crystals, the me machine, if I give it to her, it might make Enlil mad, because he always was looking for a way to make Enlil mad, right? To pee him off. So he being drunk, he said, yeah, you can have them. You can have it all, right? And so Inanna called out everything that he said he gave her, right? And she made a list of it, and then made him sign off on it. And then she ended up giving them some, for lack of a better word, right? And she left with, also took his seed so that she could have a kid, right? The first son. And then Nergal. Now, although in the book of Inanna, she don't allude to the fact that that was her son, but Baba and Zachariah Stitchin do allude to the fact that Nergal was Inky and Inanna's son, right? So we're probably like about 90% accurate on that when we talk, because we got it from Zachariah Stitchin bags it, and Baba confirms it in the Holy Tablets when he said that when Nergal came up to a new throne, they said they go Inanna's son, right? In one part of the Holy Tablets, right? So look, check this out. Yeah, you got now, keep in mind, Ishtar or Inanna had like 200 human kids, and most of them were females. And she had some daughters that had red hair and green eyes. Some of them had red hair and green eyes from the because she was mixing with these elder barons. She was having with these Ashtar Command. Ashtar Command. Look, that's why she got the name Ishtar, right? Because she had daughters that was born with like red hair. Some of them even had brunette color hair. These daughters that she had, right? And they all was trained in the art of love making at her school. They came her priests, a part of the Eastern Stars, pretty much what you call an Eastern Stars. They were like the builders. They were like, for the builders, the master masons, they were like the women who they set up the parties. They set up the parties where these men, these builders and these miners would come, and after they got through doing their work and labor for the day, they would come to these brothels and get their rocks off. And that's like that's where the Eastern Stars started. So it's really like that's what I don't want to get too much into it and tell too much, because I ain't no snitch, really. I ain't no snitch. Inky say Enlil say I'm a snitch, though. I talk too much, right? Like Zachariah snitching, right? But okay. So he ended up giving all this the 12 crystals, all 12 crystals, and the machine that it's kind of like a device. Like I said, you stick the crystals into. So she ended up getting a hold of that joint. So she gained all those same wisdom as Inky using that machine. Now, Inanna also knew that Inky was gonna wake up the next day and say, "Oh my God, I gave her the respiration machine," and I'm telling her what she gonna do with it, right? So when Inky woke up the next day holding his head like almost can't remember what happened. Ismud, he called for Ismud. Ismud is his guy with the two faces, right? His visor. Ismud come up in now, and Ismud say. Inky said, what are all of the keys to the kingdom? I can't even start my day where the stuff at. His mother said, "My lord, Inky, my lord, I'm sorry to inform you, but you gave all of your belongings and your rights over to Inanna, your great niece, and she's left the temple with the me stones. The me stones are the 12 crystals that got the information on it, and she's fled to her city." So Enlil said, "Oh shit." He said, "Oh shit, what happened?" He said, "Oh shit." So he sent his Ismud and some guards to go find Inanna. But Inanna she had a decoy ship. When she left, she had a decoy ship. She got her right hand, and like I say, I think that right hand person could be was a drag, cross-dressed lady. You know what I'm saying? A cross-dressed dude. That she got him or her, because she referred to as a her, and she got him to fly the other ship to her city while she flew her ship to her homegirl. She had a homegirl that was reptilian, that was from the snake people. She had one of her homegirls from the snake people, and they lived in the caves and the advanced tunnel systems on the ground. And she went down there and escaped down there and started trying to use the respiration machine and started gaining some knowledge. And she eventually did use it, a lot of it, right? And she ended up keeping the machine until Enlil and them took it back from her, right? So what happens is then, to make a long story short, Damuzi ended up getting killed. Damuzi, let me show you that. Damuzi, I'm really running ahead of it because Damuzi ain't born to after, like, right when the humans is created. All right, so let me show you this. Let me show you this while I'm in here. Okay. So Inky also had another son, right? Because we was under the impression that Tahuti was Murdoch, right? But Tahuti not Murdoch. Murdoch is Ra. He changed his name and Ra was one of his avatars. Actually, the Inky, the Go'uls come down from the bloodline of Inky. We're about to break that down for you. So, and then we probably have to do some upgrades to the Orion group to line everything back up, because they try to confuse us with the storyline when Enlil confused the tongues and the language of the Lulu-Amalus and Murdoch's people to try to keep them from building the Stargate and the other devices they were building to try to get up into the galaxy, right? So Inky, before his son Nergal went down to the underworld, he Ariskagil, Inky was to go back and forth to the underworld because he was in control of a place called the Absu, right, which was partially underwater and partially going up on top of a mountain down in Southeast Africa. And he used to go to the underworld. It's a door to the underworld right here at that spot, right? And it's hard to get up in there because you could get lost. It's about 800 miles of tunnels that's going down in a swirl. And if you don't got no light or you don't got a certain type of Kundalini energy, you would get lost down there and pretty much die of starvation or something like that down there, because the tunnel system is long. They like mazes. They're like a maze. So only the ancestors know how to Inky them, the Anunnakis and these reptilians know how to walk through that maze down there, right? Hey, shout out 19 Keys. Somebody says 19 Keys. Yeah, shout out 19 Keys, man. We like 19 Keys. 19 Keys with us, right? Okay, so Inky, now keep in mind, Ariskagil was fine too. She was a big bone fine. You got them real thick, big bone Amazon girls. Well, Ariskagil was an Amazon fine, and her mother was even though she was a reptilian, her mother was fine and thick too, though. Her mother, the reptilian lady, was fine and thick because that Ishtar goes in her book on how fine that that's why Nana she said that Nana and that this reptilian Ishriskagil mother had cobra eyes and she can hypnotize Nana. She could hypnotize Nanar to where he under some kind of spell where he was in love with her. And he loved, like he was just really obsessed with Ariskagil's mother. And so when Ariskagil's born, she was fine too and thick. and fine like Isis. And one of her nicknames is Gil. Gil. They call her Gil, like Ariska Gil. One of her nicknames is Gil. They call her Gil for short. Right. And she said we're updos too. But Inanna actually said that Ariska Gil, she said that she wore them blonde wigs because she talk about Ariska Gil in her book, and talk about how she ain't really had no beef with Ariska Gil, but she talk about it like, you know how women get together and they might talk about another woman. Well, Ishtar used to give her a homegirl and talk about Ariska Gil, and she say that Ariska Gil be having them fake blonde wigs on, and she be having them attached with this she had this little thing that she put around her head to hold her wig on, this little serpent thing, gold serpent thing, right? And she say, oh yeah, she said that B. Yeah, that's how she talked to her, like that B be down there wearing wigs. She really ain't got no hair, right? She's saying all this about Ariska Gil. But she wanted like Raw Hayes told me, cause I was trying to figure out the part, or why would Inanna go down there, because Inanna actually tell why she go down there in the book. She said that she was going to get some a seed. I can't gotta say it a certain way because I kind of gotta keep it clean. She was going to get a seed, sperm count from Nergal. And by this time, Ningazita was already born. Ningazita is who you call in Tahuti in ancient Egypt. His name and they had several different names. Hermes. It depends because the language got changed when on the different cultures. But his name is Ningazita. He the son of Ariska Gil, and we was thinking that he was Mother Ninti's son, because and we was only maybe like a certain percentage sure on it, but we really got the confirmation of that he was Ariska Gil's son, and that was explained why he was going there. Him and Murdoch was down there, and they set up the halls of Amenti. And that he was down in the center of the earth lot going to school in the halls of Amenti, because that city was protected or guarded by Ariska Gil. Her palace was down there, right, by Ariska Gil, right? And so, well, just to make that about to bring in Ningazita, who is Tahuti, right? Who actually the design, who actually is the engineer of the pyramids in the Giza Plateau. And those pyramids are way more advanced than you know. We're probably gonna do a whole tape on the technology of the pyramid. It actually recharges our ships that we flew off of plasma energy. Our ships that we had, they flew off plasma energy. And this pyramids produce plasma energy using a six crystal format. But in fact, I can show you some of the crystals that was in that pyramid. We had 6 crystals in that pyramid that was arranged a certain way to where when the sunlight hit it, it collect photon particles and converted it and broke it down into plasma energy. I don't want to get too much information where it overloads you in one night, but it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So these different types of crystals, I'm gonna show you pictures of them. All right, this was one crystal. These crystals we use to make this 0-point energy module right here, right? To tap into this energy. Okay, hold up. Are we still in that folder? Okay. Hold on, that ain't the folder. It's this folder right here. Hey, Rob, if you're coming into the building, man, if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We going in on Inanna. We almost at an hour. And I think I pretty much covered the stuff I wanted to cover, but let me break this down for you too. I'm gonna go a couple more minutes because I gotta finish the Inanna part. So I'm gonna change the name of this to Inanna Returns or some part like that. I'm gonna change it to that name. Because we just talked about Inanna. We're gonna talk about the creation of the humans on the next part. So this is what some of the crystals look like. And actually the flows in Nubaru, some of the walkways, they made out of these crystals. They made out of these crystals right here. The walkways, like the sidewalks, is like this crystal. And it's like got a mixture of gold particles and everything in it. It look marble looking. right? Like this is a crystal that, like a lot of the structures or a lot of the art, like the statues and things is built out of these crystals, these same colors, right? He go want some right here. That's what they look like, right? These are here got crystals are way more powerful than anybody know. I want to get the brother, my brother, man, one of my brothers that actually put me in the game, Neb Haru. Shout out to brother Neb Haru, man, Master Neb Haru. He's a master crystal, he's a master in the crystals. He actually wrote several books on it, and he actually sells the pyramids, crystals, right? Noon Technology. Go to noontechnology.com, and you can be able to purchase some of the pyramids. And he got the colonial silver, colonial gold, the different herbs and things on there. So you can go check that out at noontechnology.com, right? Shout out my brother Neb if he's listening, man. Neb put me on a long time ago on he put me on the Nikki Love show, right? He got me on the Nikki Love show back maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It might have been maybe around 10 or 15 years ago, because it was like 2000, by at least 11 years ago, because I think it was like 2010 or 2011 or 12, about around that time. Yeah, so they do these different crystals, and these different crystals also were part of the Mees, where they had 12 different color crystals that had the information stored on it. See all these different clouds and that's information. These crystals are living organisms. They alive, they breathing. That's why when they make rings with real stones, they got to have an area where they can clean it and where the crystal can breathe, because it's living. If you got somebody got real diamonds, it's got a space between the crystal and it's the thing that it's sitting in, because those crystals got to breathe, or else they'll start growing out green algae on them. If green algae can grow on crystals, then they tell you that these things are living organisms. They're alive, right? Yeah, crystal ball, right? So yeah, let me get into this part before we get up out of here. I got to tell you the story about what happened to Inanna and why she had to get another clone, avatar, why she had to go to this green avatar right here. Let me pull it up. She ended up getting shot with a plasma weapon by Ariska Gale. I'm finna tell you, hold on, let me pull this part right here so I can show you her two avatars. She actually had more avatars than that, but the only reason she had to switch to this avatar is because she got shot with a plasma weapon by Ariska Gale. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, all right. So then, like I said, they was making these avatars in these tubes on Nubaru, so they can use them to as like avatars for these, so they wouldn't harm their physical. The one they was using, a real avatar, the one that was on Nubaru, the one that was born on Nubaru. So they were making these avatars in tube that was green like this with the they call them Watusis, right? Which they came down. They was in Orion at first, right? So what happens is, and these are same people, same lady, right? What happens is that when Inanna wanted to go down there and collect that specimen from Nergal, Ariska Gale got word of it, and she knew Inanna was coming. So when Inanna she actually go into detail in this in the Inanna return book. She actually goes and flies her ship to the top of the hole and land at the palace at Ariska Gale's palace, where it has 7 gates you got to go through before you can get to her palace. And when she got to the first, a big monster met her. A big monster, one of these cyclones with the one eye, big giant. And he told her that before you come in, you got to take everything off. They made her remove a part every time she went through a gate. They made her remove a part of her clothes. And the reason why they made her do that is because Ariska Gale knew that the Anunnakis and Inanna had technology in her dress that was like a force field, where she created this force field around her where you can't shoot her. Or you can't penetrate her force field, because in her clothes and her jewelry was like created a force field around them. So Ariska knew this, so she made sure she stripped down and make sure she ain't have no weapons or nothing. And so by the time Inanna made it into the courtyard where Ariska she was completely naked. And Ariska was already sitting on her throne. It was made of gold with two pearl, the seat handles were made out of pearl, right? And like this advanced type cedar wood that she had got from Enlil from his forest. He used to make cedar wood quick stuff in they office or whatever, like beds. They used to make beds and chairs and things out of cedar wood, these Anunnakis, right? From the forest of Enlil, from Enlil Forest, right? In Lebanon, right? And so when she got down there, it was already, the center world had already had a whole court. So as soon as she walked in, it's like she walked right into court. And when she walked in and she got close, she saw Ariska sitting on the throne, moving her finger, talking about this bee got the nerve to come down here and want some of my man and this and that and this. She was going on and on and on, right? And then when Ishtar, when Inanna said, when she about to say, "Hey, calm down. It ain't that serious. Calm down. It ain't that serious." Ariska said, "Shut the F up, B," and pulled out a plasma gun and shot her right then. Boom, shot her. And she goes into Inanna goes into detail how soon as she shot her, her body dropped lifeless to the ground. She floated above. Her avatar dropped to the ground, and her essence floated above her body, and she was looking down at her body while Ariska was standing there over talking about this bee got the nerve, while she's standing over and stuff, right? And so her essence was trapped in the underworld. Ariska took her body and hung it on the wall like an ornament, as a sign. Well, what happened? The niggas come down here, bees that come down here after my man. Let this be a sign to the next one, right? So, but before Inanna went down there, she had an assistant, one of her sisters, the drag dude I told you. I don't know for sure if he a drag. I just, based on all the stuff that I researched on him, it seemed like that he was a man and a woman at the same time, or morphodite or something like that, right? And but Inanna said that she was a queen of the East at one point, this being. So I don't know if it was I don't know who this lady is, but we know her name is Nishubak. That's her name. That's what Inanna called her. And before Inanna went into when she landed, before she went into the gates of Ariska, she told her assistant to go back. And she told her, if I don't come back in 3 days, go get help. Right. So she didn't, when Inanna didn't return in 3 days, her assistant went and summoned Enlil. And she went to go tell Enlil to help her get Inanna back, spirit back out of the underworld. But Enlil said that she got what she deserved. We told her not to go down there because when she was about to go down there, Enlil and Nanar told her don't go down there. Urtu them, her brother, they told her don't go down there messing with Ariska. She funny because she got that reptilian side. She quick tempered, short tempered, and they told her don't go down there, but she ain't listening. So Enlil said that he wasn't gonna help her, and so then she went to Nanar, her dad, to Nana's dad, and Nanar said, "No, I ain't gonna help her. I told her, but don't go down there messing with her sister. I told you she was crazy. I told her she was crazy before she went down there going to mess with him." And so her essence was trapped, but then the lady waited a while and got her storyline together, a sob story, and then she took the story to Inky, and she told Inky the story, and Inky, being knowing that Ishtar had them tablets, he didn't want the tablets to become to have Ishtar to give the tablets of the Ariska and have to even though he liked the Ariska, he didn't want nobody else to get a hold of the tablets, because if Enlil would have found out about it, which eventually he did, but it was too late then. She'd already used them already.
to build whole cities and stuff out of it. She learned how to build whole cities. But Inky, she told Inky, and then Inky went got Ninhursag, which is Mother Ninti, Hathor in the ancient Egyptian culture, right? She went and got Inky and Mother Ninti, and they said that because of her essence got trapped in order to. She said her body is too damaged to put her back in the other body. So what we got to generate her a clone. So they made her a clone, but they said in order to switch the body, in order to switch the her spirit from this body to that body, just like they did in the movie Avatar, they had to do a ritual in the pyramids over her body. So they had to retrieve her other body in order to do the ritual. So Inky was able to go down there and get her body and bring it back to the pyramids. And then they laid her down on these flat bed crystals. And then they did the ritual where they call her essence from the other body to that body. They call essence back to that body, and she couldn't stay in that body because it was too damaged from the plasma weapon, and they couldn't really repair her body. So they had to switch her avatar to this avatar, the green avatar. And that's how she got the two images like that. But all of them they had more than one avatar, you know what I'm saying? But she got shot with a plasma gun by a Riska girl. I'm telling you, man. And she had to get another avatar. And then from this avatar, she said after that I ain't gonna never go back down there messing with that crazy B no more. No more. She too crazy. I ain't gonna go back down there messing with her no more. But Inky and Inky and Mother Ninti end up getting her essence and putting it back into this avatar using the different types of rituals that they do to switch the avatar. So she was permanently now in this new avatar, and the old avatar was too damaged. We'll have to risk to get a shot with that plasma weapon, right? A plasma weapon, it looked like this. Let me show you. They had different kinds, but I showed you some of them in the. I showed you some of their guns, their plasma weapons in the Orion group tapes. But it looked like this. Some of them not like that. It looked like more like something like this. This one here more like a rifle style one. But they got handgun style ones too. Man, do you know that Murdoch and then Ertu, we used to go to meetings, and then the meeting would end up in a shootout where Murdoch and then Ertu shooting at each other with plasma weapons, blowing chunks of rock off in the temples, blowing up statues, shooting at each other. And Inky can't control Murdoch. Inky can't control Murdoch. Murdoch got some kind of thing over him. He looked at Murdoch as, I don't know what it is. I think it's because a new trained Murdoch personally, that Inky look at him that he more powerful, and that Murdoch is, he look at it like his son, like his pride and joy. Murdoch one of his pride and joys. Like he got this thing with Murdoch where he look at him like, I want to see how far he can go. There's no limits to his how his mind. But Murdoch got a bad side though. You know what I'm saying? We want to bring that to you. We about to get up out of here, man. Like I say, like we're gonna change the name of this to Inanna Returns. And then we got more. I just wanted to give you that background on Inanna, so when we get to the parts where she was doing what she was doing, you understand what was going on. You know what I'm saying? In the psyche. What I was gonna say. Yeah, so we're gonna change the name of this to Inanna Returns. Okay. What else? What else I want to tell you before we get out of here? Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, man. And go check out that Barry White. A news said that Barry White is his boy. Go check that out, man. That's fire. We out, right? Peace, love, high vibrations, and harmony, and divine love throughout the balanced universe. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, shalom alaikum, Islam, hotel, peace. Ashug, divine love, like we said, throughout to each and every one of you. All throughout the balanced universe. We leave and we come in peace. We leave in peace and we came in peace. Right? We leave in peace and we came in peace. So, Wadu.